So now, getting accommodation in the UK, especially a family accommodation, is not that easy, but it's quite simple. If you would watch this video from beginning to the end, you would get the points I'm trying to pass through. And what I'll be sharing with you today is the truth no one would tell you about getting accommodation in the UK as a family. If you are coming in with your family as a student, it's quite different. If you'll be coming in through the Tier 2 visa route, the skilled workers visa route with your family, it's entirely some kind of simple steps all together. So please stay to the end of this video. Basically, I want to appreciate all of you. I woke up this morning to a 6,000 subscribers. That was just massive. I had to tell my husband straight away, And I owe it all to you guys. I want to say a massive thank you to every one of you supporting this channel to grow. And if you are new to my channel, you are absolutely welcome here. Hit the subscribe red button, turn on the notification bell, hit the like button, and go through my videos. You would definitely find a video that would interest you, so stay connected all the time. Thank you once again for stopping by to watch this content. Coming into the UK with your family as a student, getting accommodation is something a lot of people have complained a lot. Recently I talked about Amber platform, student platform, where you can get an accommodation, but they do not provide accommodation to a student coming in with their family. It's way difficult. Meanwhile, you do not blame most people. I also got a comment where someone says the landlord requested for a 6-month rent. Yes, it is true, because looking at it, if you are a landlord or a landlady and a student wants to rent your house with a family, you might find it difficult to release that house to a student, because generally the students are considered to be people who are somehow dependent, even if you have all the money. Here, they look at you as a dependent, so they find it difficult to rent their house to you because they believe that you don't have that bulk of money, you don't have a job. These are the limitations. You don't have a steady job that would show that, yes, every month a specific amount of salary comes into your bank account, And some of these private housing agents, they do not have insurance that covers your children. This is why they would always want to know how many of you are moving into the house, how many adults, how many children, So basically, most of these private renting or letting agents, they do not have insurance for children, and it makes it difficult for most families, getting family accommodation in the UK. Now, I am still coming to the means by which you can easily get accommodation here in the UK. For those of you coming into UK under the Tier 2 skilled workers visas route, it is quite easy. Just like us, we came into the UK and we got this very house within a space of 3 weeks. Why? Because why did it even take us 3 weeks? It should have been something about 1 week or 2 weeks, because we came in during the pandemic. So firstly, we booked an Airbnb accommodation all the way from Saudi Arabia through a website before we arrived this country. And then it was difficult because we had to quarantine for 10 days. So it was difficult for us, to come out, maybe meet the housing agents. Even if we found a house online, it is difficult for us to go view the house because we had to finish our 10 days quarantine before we are able to move around. And before my husband can as well go to his hospital to get employment letter that justifies that, yes, he has an employment already in this very country. Because if you come in through the Tier 2 workers visa route, you have to show this when looking for a house, so that the landlord will be sure that you have a job, a defined job, source of income to be paying for the rent. Yes. So basically, if you are coming under the Tier 2 workers route, or if you are moving to the UK as a student with a family, it is difficult for you to get an accommodation all the way from your country, any of the African countries you are moving into UK to, but it is way easier for you to be on ground in the UK. It makes it easier for you to find an accommodation, family accommodation precisely. Now, If you are coming in as a single student, it's quite easier for you to get any accommodation of your choice, student accommodation. But bringing a family, remember that the university, they only provides halls of residence. These are hostels, just, it is basically structured for students and not for families. Some private accommodations are basically for single students. Yeah, you move in, then subsequent time you can bring in your wife, especially when you don't have a child yet. Because in the workplace, at my workplace where I just resigned from last month, I have about 7 Nigerians working there with me. 3 of them, they have families. They are all married. 7 of them are married. But 3 of them, they came in with their children. How did they secure their accommodation here? It is very simple. All of them, they had their stories. In fact, one of them made my hair. Yeah, she has made my hair twice. And I've been to her house to make the other hair I loosened before I made this very one. So I am telling you the facts, the way you can easily get a house in the UK, family accommodation precisely as a student, even as someone under the tier 2 visa route, that's skilled workers visa, just like the way we did, Now, it wasn't as if we didn't have anyone coming to UK. We have friends, we have people in different cities, but then it was COVID time, so we decided to rent that Airbnb accommodation. I made a video about it. Scroll down my video, you would find it. It is just a beautiful kind of accommodation for a family. I would suggest you go for Airbnb accommodation instead of a hotel, unless you have enough money in your bank account, because basically Airbnb offers you, it's a hard setting, you have the kitchen separate to yourself and your family, you have the living room, which is the lounge, you have your room. My boy's room had a bunk. Assuming I have 3 or 4 children, it would have contained all of us, because my boy's bed had the down and the bunk, the upper one. In fact, he was just playing around, And kitchen is, in fact, the kitchen is equipped. Everything was provided. I made a video. You can watch that video and see for yourself, So I would prefer, or I would suggest you get an Airbnb accommodation rather than a hotel, because in the hotel, you don't have kitchen, you don't have access to the fridge. Some of the things you bring from Nigeria might even go bad, because I remember one lady telling us how they spent almost 2 or 3 months in the hotel, and a lot of stuff they brought from Nigeria, they all went bad, especially the food stuff they brought from Nigeria, because in a hotel room, you don't have access to the fridge. Even if you are lodging in a place where you have the bread and breakfast, it is only in the morning you come down, you have your breakfast. Lunch, hotel they cook, they can offer you that lunch and dinner, but it's quite expensive. But Airbnb allows you the access to cook in the kitchen. So you can be in an Airbnb accommodation for a period of 1 or 2 weeks. When you arrive here, living in an Airbnb or a hotel, it is very easy for you to get an accommodation. Yes. Or you have a relative that you can move into the person's house, though it can be difficult because it takes a lot for people to tolerate people. But some people can as well spare you a room. They might end up collecting bills from you, not the rent, a family. And then when you are already here, you can start looking for a house. Lodging in an Airbnb, it is very easy. You go for your lecture, isn't it? And as you are going for lecture, you are meeting people, students, who would put you through. Some of them might even have an accommodation that they want to share. Like the lady that made my hair, she came in March. They stayed in a hotel. That was where they stayed before they found this accommodation in a block of flats. When I went to her house, they have their bedroom to themselves. They have kitchen, they have toilet, they have their living room. That's the parlor to themselves. But it's a block of flats, not a house as this. And now, she's currently working at my workplace, 20 hours, The other lady, the husband is the student, and she started working at my workplace full time because the husband is a student. And then when they started working, she was able to get an accommodation. It doesn't take time for you to get a job here if you're really serious to get a job. You can even get a job from the Airbnb. In fact, it's not that you can. There was a family that visited me here, a Yoruba family recently. The husband, he's been working since March he came in. They just moved into their own house. That was on the 2nd of August. Today is, I think it's 6th today or thereabout, you know. So he started working from the Airbnb accommodation where they were staying, though he came alone before the wife joined. So these things are very easy when you are on ground, and you cannot just land on the air. Get lodge in a hotel, yeah, save up money for it, or Airbnb with a family. I would suggest I keep recommending Airbnb for a family. Basically, if you are a student with a family, once you start attending your lectures, because once you arrive there, you will definitely rush to your school to know how things are going. You know, they've given you a start date. You meet up with people, Nigerians, a whole lot of them, though not every black is a Nigerian, because I had such terrible experience when I was new. You know, I spoke to one lady. She is a dark-skinned person like me, darker than myself. Immediately I saw her in the class, I was excited. When I touched her to talk to her, she started speaking through her nose. Sopre, sopre. Then I took off. I was like, is this girl forming or something else? You know, so, but I can assure you, a lot of Nigerians, they are in any school you can think of here in the UK, you know, so they can talk to you about house availabilities within where they are staying. You know, so it is very easy. Some of these private agents or private landlords, when they rent their house to you, a shared, maybe a house as this, you can take up one room, yeah, and then your family will join you there. You guys will start staying there until you get a better place to stay. Now, there's this very point I want to emphasize on. A lot of agents, housing agents, will tell you that they do not rent a house to a student with family, especially when you have children. But a lot of them, you will definitely find some of them that will say, yes, they can rent to you. You know, maybe you get to know these people from your fellow students in the class, or from relatives, or from people around here. You know, so it is very easy. You will find a lot of them that would say yes. But I want to emphasize this fact. When renting a house, ensure that your contract is for 6 months. You know why? Because if your contract is for 1 year and within the space of 5 months, you got tired of staying there and you found a new place, you cannot go unless you find someone that will take over from you, because your contract is for 1 year. But if you sign a contract of 6 months, possibly towards the 5th month, you still want to maintain staying there, you go on to renew your contract for another 6 months, which is very much possible, you know. But then sign a contract of 6 months. Within first 3 months, hence you came in here with your partner must have gotten a job. You know, you will be doing 20 hours, your partner working, having a fixed salary per month. With all these things, when you use it to go to get a better house per se, in quotes, the landlord will look at it, yes, one of you has a steady income and the other person is doing part-time. So the landlord would be assured that you will be able to pay your rent, even if you are getting a 2-bedroom. Yeah. Because going to a landlord to say, I want a 2-bedroom apartment when you are just arriving in the UK as a student, or you are still in Nigeria, in Ghana, anywhere, you want a 2-bedroom apartment because you have family, you are coming with children, 3 children, 4 children, the landlord wouldn't take you serious, to be honest. This is why some of them would tend to ask you, a student with a family, to pay 6 months rent, 1 year rent. Why do they do that? They just want to scare you away because they know you don't have that money. A student, even if you are here on a skilled workers visa, any landlord that asks you to pay for 6 months doesn't want you to be in that house. So somebody that commented, or 2 people that have talked about landlords asking them to pay 6 months rent, this is the reason. They know that you cannot afford it. They don't just want to tell you that, sorry, we cannot take you. They just scare you away by asking you to pay such exorbitant amount. 6 months. Me self, I cannot take a house like that. You know, talk more of a student with a family. You know, so it is better you are here on ground, then you look around. You talk to people around you, especially your classmates, your relatives, your friends in class. And do you know that you need something they call proof of address from the Airbnb accommodation you are staying, from the hotel where you are staying? You will need that proof of address to show to any landlord that is giving you a house that you've been staying in a particular address here in the UK. If you provide an international address, they're not going to take you serious. So they need an address from the UK. This is why you have to be on ground before ever looking for an accommodation here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps. In my next video, I'll be sharing about the websites where you can check while searching for a house in the UK. Thank you once again. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Yeah, bye.